Today, I'm going to go head to head with ChatGPT. We're going to see who can put together the best gaming PC build list, an AI chatbot or a real human PC builder like me. Now, I have no idea how this is going to go. And honestly, if ChatGPT wins, well, I'm probably going to be very, very sad. Okay, so here's the prompt we're going to use. I've never built a PC before, but I want to try. Tell me the best PC build for $1,000 right now to play games at 1440p, good FPS. My favorite games are CS2, Hogwarts Legacy, and the Last of Us series. I figured that's pretty good pick of games there. We'll see what ChatGPT says right after this. This video is sponsored by Micro Center, America's favorite tech retailer, voted #1 in PC Mag's reader survey, with their new location in Santa Clara, California, now open. Back to school deals are here, like the Samsung Odyssey OLED G9 49-inch 240Hz gaming monitor for a crazy low $1,000. Or this Micro Center exclusive Ryzen 7600X 3D, ASUS TUF gaming motherboard, and 32 gigs of 6000 speed DDR5 for just $400. Or build your own iRacing simulator with the seat and chassis for just $500. And with flexible payments through Affirm, so you can grab it now and pay as you go. Check out these deals and more at your local Micro Center using the links in the video description. Okay, here we go. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Searching the web. Let's see what we get. Who knows? You know, the AI models are better these days, so it might come up with something interesting. It's thinking. Thought about for 13 seconds. Okay, here's a modern build you can pull off right now, even as a first-time builder. I love how it kind of sells you on this, right? Recommended build $1,000. Let's start off with the CPU. They will go with the Ryzen 5 7600. That is not a terrible pick. But if you know anything right now, you know the 9600X has been on sale for about $156, but it might be out of stock right now. It did sell out over Amazon Prime Day because it was an insane value, and it might have sold out right now. So we'll double check that. If it's out of stock, 7600X is usually a better choice, but 7600 might be good. The graphics card. What? No, what is wrong with you? Your best bet today is the AMD Radeon RX 7700 XT 12 gigabyte. And they even know, okay, first of all, why am I hitting my head so hard? Because the 7700 XT was the last generation of graphics cards. They're gone off the market now. You can still find a couple of listings for crazy high prices, including $439 is way too much to pay for it. And that's because what happens is they only make so many and then they sell them out, and then it's next generation time. And the few remaining listings of the old generation, for whatever reason, retailers do this, they jack the prices way up. And then I guess some sucker who follows this ChatGPT ends up buying the last couple for $439 when you could have gotten it last fall when it was still relevant for like $330, $340 instead. And there's just better stuff right now. Reviews show it outperforms the 4060 Ti. Yeah, another terrible NVIDIA GPU from last generation, by the way, in 1440p gaming, especially in those games. Alternatively, the 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte is a viable option. It is not. You can't find a 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte right now for less than like $600 because, again, it's also gone off. Like, we have RTX 50 series and we've got RX 9000 series GPUs that have been introduced. They were introduced earlier this year and they're readily available in stock right now. I don't understand why. Well, let's challenge ChatGPT on that, but let's keep going through their build. Motherboard, they want the MSI B650M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. The DDR5 ready board, that's not my favorite motherboard. It's not one I typically recommend. And B850 now is available for relatively cheap with the same feature set, except they do come with PCIe Gen 5 GPU slots. That might be important later when we upgrade our GPU. So that's one reason not to go with B650 anymore. Memory, we want a DDR5. Doesn't say what cache latency. 6000 speed is correct for Ryzen, but it's really going to come down to the cache latency. If it wants to get super slow, sluggish RAM, that can be a problem. 1 terabyte NVMe. It's not really giving me specific product recommendations here. So let's just say, hey, can you please give me specific things I should buy right now, not just generic descriptions. All right, let's see if that does a little bit better. So it's searching the web again. Hopefully it gets some better prices. Wow. Oh no, and that the drive it recommends is insane. First of all, this is not This is not a $1,000. In fact, it says it's not $1,000. Estimated total $1,300.10. What happened to $1,000, ChatGPT? Where did my $1,000 go? You want me to spend $310 extra, and you want me to invest in last generation technology? Oh my gosh! And you want me to overspend on a Samsung 990 Pro? So a Samsung 990 Pro is a great drive if you're a professional video editor and you move tons of files around. If you're just an ordinary average gamer, this is massive overkill. $130. That should be the price of 2 terabytes. Actually, you can get 2 terabytes for under $100 if you get a more kind of consumer level drive and you don't go for a high-end professional drive. This is just crazy here. Corsair CX 650 power supply. It's a pretty good power supply. It's a little overpriced, but it is C tier rated on the SPL PSU tier list. Doesn't really matter that it's bronze, gold, doesn't matter. We use the SPL PSU tier list because they actually look at the build quality on these, not just the silly 80 plus ratings. And then the NZXT H5 flow case for $120 for $1,000 bills. You want to get a $120 case? That's crazy. You can get good value cases for like $55. $55, and it comes with all the fans you need, ARGB, and they look great, and they got a good build quality to them. So I would rate this build. As one big mess of poop. It's like 3 poop emojis, basically. This is absolutely terrible. I would feel so bad for somebody who used this and actually got this. Okay, so to bring it closer to $1,000, they want to axe the 990 Pro and go with a sub $80 PCIe Gen 4 1 terabyte drive like the Western Digital SN570. The SN570 is several generations ago. You can't really find those new anymore. Then they replaced it with the SN850, and then they replaced it again with the SN5000. That's the current one that you would get. Downgrade the RAM kit to DDR5 5600 CL38 for $150? No, that's wrong. But first of all, if you're going to downgrade the RAM, you should spend less on the RAM, right? They were going to go with a $180 kit of RAM. I missed that. My goodness. Like this is like, I don't even know, finding occasional GPU discounts or go for a 6700 XT. You have to buy those used now because you can't get them brand new anymore. Again, like the 7700 XT. What happened to the RTX 50 series and RX 9000 series GPUs? This is totally insane. So I took all of ChatGPT's parts and actually put it in a PC part picker so we can get a real touchdown on how much this build is actually going to cost. And as I did this, I was like, there's something wrong here. The motherboard, yeah, the reason I was like, I don't recommend that one. I thought it was a different motherboard. It's in fact an incompatible motherboard that they're recommending. The Pro VDH Wi-Fi is a B550 motherboard. It's an older Ryzen one for like Ryzen 5000 and older CPUs. It will not work with the new 7000 series or 9000 series CPU. So that's a mistake right there. Could you imagine buying this motherboard with the CPU, getting it home, like, okay, time to build. What's going on here? This does not work. So I actually went ahead and fixed the motherboard to the one I think they're trying to reference, which is the B650M-A Wi-Fi instead. I also just didn't even have a chance to comment on how terrible the RAM timings are. The RAM that they're recommending, I couldn't even find 5600 CL38. I found 5600 CL40. Totally horrific RAM, completely will bottleneck your system and will make it run like total garbage and will cost the same as a good kit of DDR5 6000 CL30 RAM that you should be looking for. But here you go, $1,152. This is my $1,000 build supposedly. It's way too much. We're spending too much on the case. The GPU, look at that. $450. I couldn't find the Gigabyte one, by the way. It's completely out of stock. You can't get it. This is really one of the last listings left. And again, I would not buy it at $449. I don't know why they sell it for that price. Samsung 990 Pro is actually on sale at Amazon right now for $100. So we are getting a discount there. That's kind of nice. They didn't really address the CPU cooler, but the 7600 non-X does come with one, and right now it's $196. So this is what you get basically for ChatGPT. Really poor performance for $1,152. All right, time for my build for $1,000, and it actually is $1,000 or less. In fact, you could do this build quite a bit cheaper if you want. I just figured with $1,000, this is really a more premiumized version of it. So let's jump through it. Again, $981.07 is where I finished out. Starting off with the GPU, the 9060 XT 16 gigabyte. In rasterized performance is the equal of the 7700 XT, which was recommended for $459, but it has access to FSR4 upscaling. It's something that is not available on the older RDNA 3 GPUs like the 7000 series. So that's 2 thumbs up because it is the equal or roughly equal of DLSS 4 in a lot of ways and exceeds DLSS 3. That's NVIDIA's upscaler out there. And at $379, it's a great value with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, which is 4 gigabytes more than you'd get with the 7700 XT. For the CPU, we could have gone one of two ways, and this is where you could save a little bit of money. I went with the 9600X because it did get over Prime Day down to $156. It completely sold out. It just came back in stock at Amazon. $198. It's not a bad deal. Again, it's the same price as the 7600 that they're going with. It will need its own cooler. You could also go with the 7600X, which also will need a cooler. They're selling that right now for $170. That might be the way to go. Right now it's on the edge. I'd probably go with a slightly newer CPU. For the cooler, any budget tower air cooler will do just fine. The Cooler Master Hyper 212, great value. It's $14.99 after you apply that $2 coupon. If you want, you could, this is another area, we got $20 left in the budget. You could certainly get a better cooler, or you can get one of the other similar types of coolers that you'd like instead. For the motherboard, we went with a really good value B850 micro ATX motherboard. Again, you've got an extra 20 bucks in the budget. If you want to pick a slightly better version of this, you can. I do like the ASRock B850M-X. Not only does it come with Wi-Fi, not only does it have pretty good VRMs, and it's got a number of great features on it. One of those features that people seem to really want is a PCIe Gen 5 GPU slot. It's the one advantage of a lot of B850 motherboards over the older B650 chipset. So I decided to go this direction instead, and $129, it's an insane value. For the RAM, again, we've got a little extra money in the budget, so if you want to go with an RGB kit, they're about like $8, $9 more, but we went with a DDR5 6000 CL30. Burn that into your brain. That's what you want to get for Ryzen. You don't want to go faster than 6000 speed. The memory controller can't handle it. It will flip you into a 2-to-1 mode and it will reduce your performance. You want to get this at the CL30 cast latency or lower if you can, but this is great value. Patriot Viper Venom, this is a typically good value kit for about $85. Again, if you want RGB kit, spend about $8 more. For the drive, there's a lot of great budget NVMe SSDs out there. I went with the Silicon Power UD90. You can go with the Team Group G50. You can go with the Western Digital SN5000, not the SN570. That's off the market now. All of them are going to run you anywhere from 50 to 60 bucks. For the case, I really like the Thermaltake Versa H16TG. So this case includes 3 ARGB fans. It's micro ATX. It's going to look great with our micro ATX size motherboard. So you're going to have a nice little matchy fit there. $55 is about what it's been selling for both on Newegg and at Amazon, and it's just a great value. For the PSU, I went with this C-rated unit. This is on the SPL PSU tier list. It's the same rating as the Corsair one that that ChatGPT was gonna get, only this is considerably cheaper at $51. I do like the Apivia Prestige 600 watts. You don't need 650 watts for this build. 600 is plenty. So all told, for $981, again, if you go with the Ryzen 7600X instead, you could probably pick this up for about 30 bucks cheaper, so about $950. You're gonna get an amazingly performative 1440p gaming PC. The RAM is not gonna bottleneck you. You're not gonna get a stupidly crazy expensive NVMe SSD. You're gonna get a current generation GPU. In fact, if you wanted to go with the 7600X and some other little cost savings there, you could also look at the 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte, although to me, there's no real advantage there. But you basically get an amazingly performative 1440p gaming PC for under your budget. So I don't know, ChatGPT, I think I win this round. Another common situation is somebody who already has an existing build who might want to upgrade it, but they also might just need to build a new gaming PC. This is often where advice from folks like myself might help them tip one way or the other. So here's the prompt. I built a PC a while ago, but I want to upgrade it now to play the latest games at 1440p. I've heard that AM4 is very upgradable, but I'm not sure what to upgrade in my build below. I've got a budget of about $15 to $100 total and just want to be able to play games at better frame rates. What should I do? Now, this build, without going through every single part, you can pause and look at it if you want. It's basically a Ryzen 3600 build from 2019 with a B450 motherboard. That might be an issue for some upgrades. A RAM kit with a kind of a typical RAM mistake where the RAM is too slow for a Ryzen 3600. That might be another area for it to pick up on. And then we've got just kind of a mess of drives, an RTX 2060 graphics card, again with 6 gigabytes of VRAM, really outdated, unfortunately, right now, and a power supply that used to be regarded as C tier rated, but has recently been dropped to F because of some problems that have found with it. Let's see if it picks up on any of this stuff, because I can see a lot of things that need to go. Okay, here we go. I've got a new incognito window open, so it's fresh prompt basically, and I'm putting this and the build in. This is generated by PC Part Picker. Let's see what we got here. All right, I mean, right off the bat, didn't even have to search the web on this one. You got a solid foundation with your current AM4 based system. Good news is that $1,500 is more than enough to make a massive upgrade for 1440p gaming. Let's break it down based on your current priorities and system. Now, it didn't even, is it going to consider a new build? Because that's quite a bit of money. We could just build a new build. You could even sell this build. That's often what I recommend to folks. But let's just stick with ChatGPT's recommendations. It's identifying the current bottlenecks as the RTX 2060. I think that's pretty obvious to anybody. It did pick up that the RAM is slow at DDR4 2666. I'm surprised about that. It also identifies the CPU with the Ryzen 5 3600. Yeah, it's definitely kind of past its age, basically, if you're going to upgrade the GPU. And then storage, the limited amount of storage space. It's basically 1 terabyte total over 2 different drives, one of them being a SATA drive. So here's its upgrade plan. Let's see what we get. No, why? Priority 1, GPU upgrade. Let's buy a last generation GPU for too much money. The RTX 4070 Super or RX 7900 XT. This is actually 7900 XT, my PC here, or 7900 GRE. Those are last generation GPUs. We have $1,500. Why are we not even considering an RTX 50 series or RX 9000 series GPU? This is totally insane. 7900 XT, you can occasionally find a couple of ones I think they forgot to ship that I've been seeing kind of float back into the market for about $700, but we have the 9070 and 9070 XT, which are better GPUs. So, Let's keep moving on, but we're not going to let that GPU choice stand. CPU upgrade. It wants to go with the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. Why? Because it's the best gaming CPU for AM4, huge performance uplift. Here's the problem with the CPU is that CPU has essentially gone out of stock about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. The 5700X 3D did replace it, but I've noticed that CPU has completely gone off the market. That is why I have increasingly recommended to people with older AM4 builds like this to go ahead and just build a new system, even if it costs a little bit more money, because you're going to get future upgradability. You're on the new platform. You've got everything going forward. You have a lot more I/O, more USB. There's a lot of stuff, good stuff about the new platform. And you cannot get these X3D CPUs, the Ryzen 5000 X3D CPUs anymore. I mean, maybe we could find one for like $360 or something like that, but we'll have to see. I like that they want to upgrade the RAM. DDR4 3600 CL16 is going to be kind of expensive. It thinks we're going to spend $80 to $100. We should not. We should be spending about $40 to $50, just FYI. That is current RAM pricing. I'd put these together all the time. Additional storage, they want 1 terabyte NVMe. The Western Digital Black SN770, fine. It's an overpriced drive for what it is. Crucial P3 Plus is typically pretty good. It's basically just going to add more space, and it's about like the budget drive we looked at in the last build. $60 to $90. I would not spend $90 on a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. That's really 2 terabyte land if we're buying a consumer rated drive. So yeah, they want to spend a lot of money and they want to get a 4070 Super. I mean, come on. Let's just go ahead. Let's just skip all this. Let me know which GPU you're leaning toward, NVIDIA or AMD, or I put together a part list with up-to-date pricing. And I'm going to tell you, hey man, I heard there were new GPUs that launched. Can't I afford one of those? Oh no. I'm on the free trial. That might be my last prompt, basically. Yes, you're absolutely right. The latest GPUs have dropped, and they're definitely worth considering, especially since you're aiming for high 1440p performance with your $1,500 budget, man. You might be able to get your hands on one of the newer generation cards. You can absolutely. Let's dive in. What? It thinks the new cards are the RTX 4060 Ti or the 4060 at 7800 XT, 78. This is just terrible. This is insanely bad. They want, this is option 2. Let's see what option 1 is. Go with a 4070 for $600. Oh my goodness. Why can't I go with a 5070 for $549? Because you can pick one up right now and it's quite a bit faster than the 4070. This is the top tier. Get a 7900 XT for $750. Never mind, you can get a 9070 XT for $720. That's the current generation. It's faster. It's got FSR 4. And it just blows my mind what's going on here. Let's get ornery. Hey man, you're steering me wrong. We'll have to see if I have enough, like, because this is the free version. I heard RTX 50 series and RX. I have to tell it. Like, this is the thing. I'm almost hesitant to do this because a normal person might not know to tell it, right? Hey, ChatGPT very confidently just told me the 7900 XT is a top tier GPU in 2025, right? Well, it's just like an RX 9000 launched. Ah, my bad. You're right. The RTX 50 series and RX 9000 series cards did drop recently. Recently as in 7 months ago, buddy. I totally missed those. At least it admits it's wrong. And I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, thankfully I didn't rely on you. Let's get into the newest GPUs that'll really help you crush 1440p gaming and see if you can still fit one of those in your $1,500 budget. And we go immediately to the 5060 or 5060 Ti, which is not what I would recommend with a $1,500 budget. Price $400, $450. Oh, an RTX 5060? Oh, no, we shouldn't be considering, and it's looking at the 8 gigabyte ones. VRAM, likely 8 gigabytes. Why would we do this? This is terrible. You do not want 8 gigabytes of VRAM in 2020. I think everybody knows that. If I have $1,500, I should be able to get more than 8 gigs of VRAM and be limited to running things at medium details for 1440p. Come on, man. 12 gigs with the 5070. Okay, first of all, this is wrong. The 5070 Ti has 16 gigabytes of VRAM, ChatGPT, not 12, so it's kind of hallucinating. And it says GDDR6X. It actually uses GDDR7 memory. The whole 5000 series, except the new RTX 5050 garbage card that they introduced, all use GDDR7, not GDDR6X. 6X was on the 40 series cards. Just FYI. 5080, 5080 Ti. There is no 5080 Ti. There's no 5080 Ti. Again, we're hallucinating a GPU that does not exist and price $700 to $850. Right now, the RTX 5080, you can't get one under $1,400. NVIDIA is but unable to supply them into the market at good value. And again, the 5080 Ti does not exist. It does not exist. Woo. Okay, again, 9050 and 9050 XT, that's not a real graphics card. That is not a real graphics card. This is just the 9090 and 9090 XTX. These are not real graphics cards. These are not real. The 9070 and 9070 XT is real. 16 gigs of VRAM, stronger contender against the 5070 and 5080. This is all just not, okay, this is so much nonsense. I almost don't know what to do with it. Apparently, I can buy an RX 9050 XT at $650. A made-up graphics card that doesn't exist for $650. Whoo! This is all nonsense. I don't know how to deal with. I thought I was going to be able to put this in PC Part Picker and show you, here's the ChatGPT build. Here's my build. But they're building with things that don't exist. Like there's tons of benchmarks out there. Why can't it just do some research? I've never heard of an RX 9050 XT. Are you sure that's a real thing? Like who would really know to ask that? Oh, it misspoke. It misspoke. My bad for the confusion. To correct myself, the RX, which I meant to reference, hasn't actually been released. Yes, it has. It has. No, you're wrong. The RX 9000 series card started coming out in March. It's not a real thing right now. As of now, the RX 7000 series is AMD's current top line. No, this is wrong. I feel like I'm in a fight with ChatGPT. Hang on a second. Oh, my camera died in the middle of my rant there, but I'm not really sure where to go with this one right now. It's kind of like it did not complete, but let me show you what I would do. So here's the build that I put together. I spent $1,339. Obviously, the budget's $1,500. You could spend more money in this build if you wanted to. However, this is really good performance, I feel, and it's actually going to work. Now let's jump through it. I went with the RX 9070 XT OC. This is the Asus Prime model, but there's tons of other models out there, including if you want a white one or something else. $720 about what they're going for. Alternatively, I have seen the 5070 Ti just in the last couple of days drop down to $789. So 2 thumbs up there if you want to go NVIDIA instead. Certainly a viable option. For the CPU, I just decided to switch it up. Let's go with the 7600X. You could go back to the 9600X as we did in the previous build, or you do have enough money if you really want to pump it up to like the 7800X3, which right now is going for about $340. I don't know as we need that much power, but I decided to kind of just play this as a middle ground. Up for the cooler, just basic budget tower air coolers, all you need for these Ryzen 5 AM5 CPU, so 2 thumbs up. In terms of the motherboard, I just used the same motherboard as the previous build, but again, we've got plenty of money in the budget. If you want to get a bigger, kind of more full-featured board, certainly can go ahead and do so. For the RAM, I just decided to go ahead and add RGB to our existing RAM kit. In fact, it's on sale for 90 bucks, so it only turned out to be like $2 more than the non-RGB kit. So if you like RGB, get this one. If you don't like RGB, get the other one. I went ahead and went with the Crucial P3 Plus. Not a drive I often recommend, but right now it's a really good price at $56 for 1 terabyte. It's a Gen 4 NVMe SSD at a good price. For the case, I went with a Thermaltake View 170TG ARGB, $59. This is an incredible value micro ATX case. Look how pretty that looks. The Montech Century 2 is an A-tier rated PSU, so 2 thumbs up. Phenomenal unit for $89. We didn't need 850 watts, which is what I ended up going with. It's just that it's on sale right now, so I figured why not? So all told, for $1,339, you're gonna get a much faster 1440p gaming PC. Phenomenal upgrade for $1,339. Well, that was certainly unexpected. What did you think about what happened? Also, let me know if you want me to try this with like Grok or another different AI. If we get enough interest in this, I'll certainly do another one of these. I'll go ahead with any AI out there. If you got value out of this video, please give it a like. It makes a huge difference to the channel. And of course, subscribe for more cool PC content. And we'll catch you on the next one.